For the past 18 years, I have known what I wanted to be when I grew up. As a child, people are always asking you, what do you want to do when you grow up? And kids always have cute answers, like a mommy or a dog walker or even an astronaut. When you get to high school, the question changes to what are you doing after graduation, or what are you majoring in? At this point in time, you are expected to have an answer, and a very serious answer. For some, knowing exactly what they want to do for the rest of their life when they are 18 is really difficult. Thankfully, I found my calling at a young age and have been able to answer the question about my future the same way for 18 years. A calling is something in life that you have been purposed to do, to take part in. Often, a calling has to deal with one or more of your gifts. Some of us are born with the gift of teaching, others with the gift of learning, others with compassion, and still others with different gifts or multiple gifts. We are all born with things that we are good at, things we enjoy. For some people, their gifts lead them towards the calling of pursuing nursing. To be called to nursing means to be selected as a person who is compassionate, who enjoys helping others, and has a desire to help those in need during their worst and most difficult times. The calling can come at any point in life, and for many, comes from a personal experience with a nurse. For me, the calling came when I was 2 years old. My aunt gave me a play doctor's kit for my birthday, and I fell in love with all the tools. She is a nurse, and since that birthday continued to foster my love for the nursing profession by bringing home nursing coloring books, letting me try a real stethoscope, and when I was old enough, taking me to the hospital with her and finding nurses for me to shadow. In 3rd grade, I was hospitalized for a really bad asthma attack, and my favorite memories are of the nurses playing board games with me to help pass the time. These experiences allowed me to see firsthand what a nurse does, and I fell a little more in love with nursing every time I was exposed to it. For others, the call to nursing might come later in life. Regardless of when it happens, a call to nursing is a very powerful calling. I have no memories of life before I discovered my calling to nursing, so I cannot imagine my life without talking about or wanting to become a nurse. I am beyond thrilled to be in the nursing program and taking steps towards becoming an RN. As exciting as it is to be called to something and to find out what that calling is, it does not come without responsibilities. My mom always told me that with great privilege comes great responsibility. I am lucky enough to have the privilege of knowing what my calling is and being in a place where I can live out my calling. To live out the calling of nursing means to take people's lives into your own hands and help them through what can be the most difficult and scariest times of their lives. Some cases, that might mean advocating for what the patient needs to other professions. In other cases, it might be giving the patient the correct medication, or poking and sticking them with things that in the short run hurt, but in the long run really can help the patient out. No matter the circumstance the patient is in, the nurse is there to see that they are taken care of all day, every day, for the duration of their hospital stay. The responsibility of nursing also means being able to help the family of the patient understand what the patient is going through and answer any questions that they might have. According to Gallup polls, nurses have been rated in the very top of having high ethical and honesty standards. Being a nurse also carries the responsibility of doing what is right 100% of the time, and being exceptionally honest with other medical personnel, with patients, and with family members, even when we know that the patient doesn't always want to hear what they need to change or what has to be done. It would seem that after so long, one would get burnt out from carrying all of the responsibility. But when you do what you love, the joys and the special moments of the job outweigh the heavy responsibility of the career. Even on tough days, it is the success stories that keep a nurse motivated. This class is helping me to live out my calling by helping me to better prepare to interact with other professions. Knowing what other healthcare professions can do to help a patient is key to getting them back on the right track and headed in the right direction. I also found it helpful to learn how to effectively communicate with others when a problem or conflict is arising. I hope that I never have to deal with conflict, but in the case that conflict does arise, I feel that I will be more prepared to handle it appropriately with that person. Nursing is not for everyone, and for those of us who have been called to it, it is a lifelong passion. I am lucky to call myself a nursing student and a future nurse.